Good night.
On World News tonight, the U.S. attacks all over Iraq. The drive on Baghdad is cautious. There is opposition and there is weather. The Iraqi leader is alive and on television. Who knows how well he is? The U.S. believes he is still in control. 2 more Americans are captured, their helicopters shot down. So many others are coming back full of bullet holes. And the pictures of the POWs, so public now. Such pain for the families.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening, everyone. We're actually going to begin with what we know. South of Baghdad tonight, maybe 60 miles away from the outskirts, the first elements of the U.S. invasion force are moving slowly and deliberately towards the country's most important city. The U.S. commander, General Frank, says his forces are meeting resistance, which can have many meanings, as we'll see. The Iraqis shot down an Apache helicopter today and displayed its 2-man crew on television. Iraq's deputy prime minister said today that Saddam Hussein is in full control of his army and his country, which we know is not true. The Iraqi leader was seen on television again praising Iraqis for fighting the Americans. And the UN Secretary General warned today of a possible humanitarian disaster. The city of Basra is said to be running out of drinking water. We're going to go first, as always, to ABC's John McCarthy at the Pentagon for the bigger picture. John?
Peter, commanders on the ground are now warning that they are facing a monster sandstorm that could delay for 3 or 4 days the beginning of what could be the largest land battle of this war thus far, first contact with the Republican Guard. Before the storm started rolling in late today, the U.S. intensified its air attacks against what U.S. officials say could be as many as 70,000 Iraqi troops. They are arrayed across a 100-mile front just south of Baghdad. Sources say 90% of the air missions in the last 24 hours have concentrated on the destruction of these Iraqi troops, their armored personnel carriers, and their tanks.
We find ourselves with a lot of ground interdiction in support of the ground forces a lot earlier in the war than we were really planning on.
The U.S. effort has come at a cost. An Apache helicopter, the Army's most lethal tank killer, was shot down. The 2 pilots are now in Iraqi hands and were shown on regional television. Because families have been notified, ABC News is identifying them, Ronald Young and David Williams, both chief warrant officers from Fort Hood, Texas. Since yesterday's ambushes and casualties, even support troops, those not primarily engaged in combat, are becoming the targets of roving bands of Saddam Hussein's most ardent followers, the Fedayeen.
We are receiving harassing occasional fire from the northwest.
Mike Saray is a reporter for ABC News.
Now, instead of cruising past locals with a wave, the Marines are training their weapons on them and slowing down to look for any signs of hostile intent they might have to respond to.
In the city of Nasiriyah, it was still a very difficult fight today, as described by ABC News correspondent John Berman.
The Marines are still inside the city of Al Nasiriyah, slugging it out in street-to-street fighting. 1 battalion of Marines has been there for over 36 hours now, engaged in serious fighting.
In the southern oil fields, though still racked with sporadic fighting, private American contractors were already working to cap the remaining 7 burning wells.
This could be in, 5-10 years' time, probably one of the premier oil fields in the entire world.
And in the port city of Qasr, through which crucial supplies of food and medicine for the Iraqi people were already supposed to be flowing, still trouble. Today, helicopters were sweeping the harbor for mines. British commandos found 2 more Iraqi boats loaded with mines, and it now looks like days more before even the first ships can safely get in. Another delay in the war plan. That slows the effort to win over Iraqi civilians. The sandstorms are likely to delay the attempt to go after the regime's toughest troops. Not helpful to a strategy that relies